Hello, grade 6. Hope you're fine. Today we will start a new lesson, decimal fractions, fractional writing of a decimal. Our objectives: at the end of this chapter, we will be able to recognize a decimal fraction, write a fraction in the form of a decimal fraction whose denominator is power of 10. 3. Write a decimal fraction in the form of a decimal number. 4. Write a decimal number in the form of a decimal fraction. When we have a fraction, we must write this fraction in the form of irreducible fraction. Then the irreducible fraction will give us two results. The first one is it can be written as a fraction whose denominator is a power of 10. So this fraction is a decimal fraction. While the other result is it cannot be written as a fraction whose denominator is power of 10, then this fraction is not decimal fraction. Decimal fraction, we have this fraction 12 over 15. So the first step that we have this fraction, so uh, we must have the irreducible fraction. So 12 over 15 can be divided by 3 or by 5. So 5 can divide 12, so we must divide by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So 4 over 5 is the irreducible fraction. So this step is to make the denominator equal to power of 10. That means that we must have the denominator as 10 or 100 or 1000 or any number, but it must be as power of 10 if this fraction is an irreducible fraction. So we have 4 over 5. We can multiply 4 by 2 and 5 by 2. So 5 times 2 is equal to 10. So we will have 8 over 10. So 8 over 10, the denominator is a power of 10. So this fraction, 12 over 15, is a decimal fraction. So our first step is to find the irreducible fraction. The second step is trying to find a fraction of denominator as a power of 10. Example, we have over here 12 over 4. So 4, we can multiply it by 25 to have 100. So we must multiply 4 by 25, we will get 100, and 12 by 25, and we will get 300. So 300 over 100 is a decimal fraction, then 12 over 4 is a decimal fraction. Then we have another example, 14 over 3. We can't multiply 3 by any number to get a denominator of power of 10. So 14 over 3 is not a decimal fraction. This is some multiplication that can help us to find a denominator of power of 10. So we have 2 times 5 equal 10, 4 times 25 equal 100, and 8 times 125 equal 1000. We must memorize them. To write a decimal fraction as a decimal number, we have 15 over 10. Our denominator is as power of 10, so 15 over 10 is a decimal fraction. So we can write the decimal fraction as a decimal number. We have in the denominator 10, then we have tenths. Why? Because we have 1 0, so we have one digit after the point, which is the tenths. Since we have 1 0, we have one number after the point. So in our decimal part, we have just tenths. This is another example. We have a 24 over 100. 24 over 100 is equal to 0.24. 100 has two zeros. Then we have two digits in the decimal part, which is the hundredths. We will have hundredths. We have another example and another example. 1254 over 1000. So it's equal to 1 and 254 thousandths. So we have thousandths. Thousandths is 3 digits after the point. That's because we have 3 zeros in the number 1000. So the number of digits after the point is equal to the number of zeros that we have in the denominator. This is an example that will help us to write a decimal number as a decimal fraction. So we have 0.25. We have 2 digits after the point, so we must multiply it by 100. So 0.25 times 100, and our denominator is equal to 1 because it's a number. So usually when we have a number, our denominator is equal to 1. So 0.25 over 1, we must multiply it by 100. 0.25 times 100 is equal to 25, and 1 times 100 is equal to 100. So over here, 0.25 is equal to 25 over 100. Or we can say that we have 2 digits after the point, so we must have 2 zeros in our denominator. So 0.25 is equal to 25 over 100. And since 25 times 4 is equal to 100, so we can divide it by 25. So 0.25 divided by 25 is equal to 1, and 100 divided by 25 is equal to 4. We can stop at 25 over 100, or we can make a more find the irreducible fraction, which is equal to 1 over 4. So this is our lesson. I hope you understand it.